Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. So as I said, welcome to our session today on public service and social care pathways. What we're going to do today, we have disabled the chat function in the presentation, but what we have done is we've got the Q&A open. So what that means is, as we progress through the presentation today, if there's a question that you'd like to ask from any of the panelists, it can be regarding things that they've been discussing themselves or what you see on the screen, just pop it into the Q&A and someone from there will respond to you for that, okay? So you can ask them right throughout the session. Also, there are other sessions going on today regarding lots and lots of different pathways which you can study towards at the college. So if you feel like exploring another one of those after this session, you can go to the college website and see those as well. All things that are, all the presentations that are being given today are going to be available online towards the end of next week. So if there's something that you've missed or something else that you'd like to know, go back in there, or you can go and explore the other presentations as well. And don't forget, on our college website, we also have more subject-specific presentations. So you can browse through and hear teachers talking about the specific subjects that you're looking at studying here in UVic. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to hand over to Rahima, who is the session lead for today. Rahima?
Hi everyone, my name is Rahima. I'm one of the health and social care teachers here at UVic. I teach on level 2, level 3, and also on the A-level route. We'll quickly introduce the other teachers that we have here. So who wants to go next?
I'll go next. My name is Roxanne. Hi there. My name is Roxanne Quay. I teach psychology here at UVic as well as applied psychology. So we have the A-level course as well as the BTEC, and we hope you get more information about it today.
All right, I'll go next. Hi guys, my name is Tanya Liengi. I'm one of the health and social care teachers. I teach level 3 and level 2. Yeah, hope you receive more information about the course today.
Okay, thank you. Simon, can I just ask you to jump in here as one of the heads of curriculum in the college? Yep. Can you just say a few words about why study at UVic? What sets UVic apart from other colleges?
One thing that sets us apart is the amount of support that we have for students. It's not just pastoral support either. We're particularly strong on the academic support too. So it's a whole package really. Not only do we look after you academically and get you to excel at the highest level we possibly can, we also look after you on a personal level. It's also a great college in terms of the amount of extracurricular activities we have too. Yeah. The other thing as well that's I suppose is new for this year is we're looking at a kind of pathway approach for students. So we're looking at a whole package as opposed to disparate subjects, and that's why we've designed the open day this way, I suppose. But it's a very vibrant college, and it always has been throughout its history. And of course, the student feedback we get from our approach is very, very positive. So, and of course, excellent results year on year at the college.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Simon. Okay, Rahima, you were going to say a bit about entry requirements?
Yeah, so this slide just gives you a brief overview with the entry requirements that we would generally accept on some of our courses. So these are available on the website, and you can go back onto that and check specific entry requirements for specific courses. But generally for level 2 and level 3, we do. No, sorry, let me start with level 2. So level 2 do generally require a minimum of 2 GCSEs and mainly GCSE grade 3 in English or maths. I think many of you will probably be applying for a level 3 course here. The level 2 is available to you just in case you don't actually meet the entry requirements for a level 3 course. So the level 3 BTECs require a minimum of 4 GCSEs, and most of them require a minimum grade of 4 in GCSE English and maths.
Okay. Simon, there's something here that is quite new for us, T levels. Did you want to say a little bit about T levels? Because they're coming up this September, aren't they?
The T levels are particularly important in vocational subjects, less so in the humanities and social sciences subjects. But the T levels aim to give you both academic skills, but also skills for employability, I suppose. You know, it's a way of sort of marrying up the sort of work experience element and the academic, you know, and of course the T levels are very popular with employers because they really prepare you for the workplace. One important aspect of the T levels will be how the T levels try to incorporate literacy and numeracy, and that's something new. And there'll be something called the literacy and numeracy competencies, which are sort of new to the VOC area. In the past, the vocational students have done English and maths GCSE where they've needed it, but the new sort of T levels, you know, there'll be a special emphasis within the subject areas on improving literacy and numeracy for all students. But it's great. It's a really new sort of opportunity to gain excellent academic skills in your chosen pathway, but also to gain really valuable work experience and to gain the skills that employers really want, you know, for the future, you know, and not just for your immediate future, but for your future in terms of across an entire career. It's a really good springboard to start a career, really. T levels are very important.
Thanks very much. We're just going to have a quick look now at some of the potential study routes, Rahima.
Yep. So this is specific to going into the police force, and there are 4 options on the screen for you, and you can go into the police force with any of these subjects, really. So the A levels give you a combination of which topics you would suit you, and then the vocational health and social care and public services would be perfect for that, and then the degrees at the bottom.
Okay. Rachel, did you have anything else to say about the this study routes?
I think with the study routes, we would generally say that subjects like criminology and psychology and sociology tend to, although they can lead to specific careers, they also, one of the beauty about these subjects is that they can give you a base for a wide variety of careers as well. So there's kind of specialisms, but also there's diversity in those.
Well, I suppose what students will find, Rod, is that these subjects all really complement each other beautifully. So you can see the kind of, you know, what psychologists might think about crime and what sociologists might think about crime, just by way of example. But as Rachel said, it's what's wonderful about the subjects is it offers a diversity of different career prospects. What I also love about the subjects is, as well as being rigorously academic and fascinating and interesting, what I really like about the subjects in social sciences is they teach you a lot about yourself as a person. So in terms of developing on a personal level and not just an academic level, students who study sociology and psychology will get to sort of have a deeper understanding of where they fit as individuals in society. And in terms of psychology, they'll gain a deeper understanding of themselves on a kind of psychological level. They're really interesting subjects, both academically and personally.
Excellent. Thank you, Simon. And the second one, social workers. Who'd like to pick up on that one? Rahima, you can pick up on that one.
Yep. Tanya, do you want to do this one?
Okay, yeah, I can. So with social work, you get to care for any vulnerable individuals in the society. So in order for you to get into social work, you need at least you need GCSEs, maths and English. So that's A to C. And to go to university, you will need to get at least a merit or a distinction. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else would like to come in on these potential routes for these degrees? No? Okay. Right. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to have a short activity that's going to be led by Roxanne, a bit of a masterclass with some important information for you. So it's over to Roxanne.
So good afternoon, everyone. I mentioned my name was Roxanne Quay earlier, but I'm a psychology teacher here at NUVIC. So this slide is just presenting how many different roles or jobs that you can get, as well as studying social sciences. And as you know, it's been broken down into health and social care, psychology, sociology, criminology, and it's a massive department There's so many different career pathways that you'll be able to achieve. So as you can see, in terms of education, you can become a teacher, a learning assistant, nursery nurse, such as what we are here, or you can go down more into the prison route that was shown earlier as well, in terms of being a probation officer, actually helping people revitalize perhaps crimes they've done, rehabilitating them back into society, finding the right route for you, whether it is a youth justice worker or detective, depending on what role you want to play. Or you can go and help the NHS in terms of nursing or midwifery. I know many of my students in psychology, they have a combination along with sciences or health and social care that end up going on to nursing courses, some of which have even doing foundational courses once they've left college. So you can specialize in terms of being a pediatric nurse and an adult nurse, a theatre nurse, depending on what you want to do. Depending on my subject that we've been doing psychology, there's loads of different types of therapies that you can do. Again, you can specialize in terms of being a child psychologist, or it could be an educational psychologist. You can be a psychologist within education and helping people in terms of their outside life, understanding themselves, just echoing what Simon was saying earlier in terms of psychology, helping you understanding your sense of self and the world around you. I believe that doing one of these in terms of these careers would help you long term. As well as in the yellow, as you can see with the text, it's saying speech and language therapist, play. I'll say that these courses are a lot more specialized, but it does definitely have the basis of psychology, health and social care, and so on and whatnot. And as many of my course students, that teach psychology, they do law. So having that psychological background, or social science background rather, widen it out, you have people skills, you're able to deal with the public, and if you were a solicitor, paralegal, a barrister. So having that sense of understanding of the world and being able to help people further, you can definitely get yourself into one of these careers, no doubt. And NUVIC is here to help you do that.
Okay.
And so continuing on, what I'm doing today is just talking about how our mental health in BAME communities can be perhaps understood further with psychology. So if you're not aware, Black Lives Matter is a political and social movement that aims to protest against incidences in terms of racial injustice and any form of racially motivated, any motivated violence against Black people, as well as, but we can't just talk about Black because ethnic minorities such as the Asian community are included here. So that's why they've created the term BAME, which stands for Black, Asian and Minority Ethnic. So my role here today is just to include how our understanding of psychology can help us, especially in the pandemic, because I've actually just cropped some of these from top headlines from newspapers. The first one, I believe, was from The Mind, actually, the Mind charity that deal with mental health. And this was produced in July 2020, so not too long ago. And they mentioned that existing inequalities have made mental health of BAME groups worse during the pandemic. And the second one is from, I believe, The Guardian, and they had many statistics. I'll just read it out to you. Evidence shows that Black and minority ethnic groups have significantly poorer mental health outcomes and poorer experiences or services. Some individuals' limited knowledge of available support and the ways of access to allows mental health problems to become more entrenched and difficult to cope. As you can see, I'm evidently Black, and I can definitely see within our community, mental health isn't necessarily spoken about. And I know that other communities perhaps are a lot more well-informed. And so perhaps being of the younger generation, having better understanding of mental health and through our knowledge of social sciences can be better for ourselves, especially in this pandemic. So what can we do and how can psychology help this? I've included the statistics as well. And I believe this is from 2018 from BBC, but 2018 is not too long ago from 2021. So I do believe it's still relevant. And as you can evidently see, the Black and Asian communities are significantly lower in terms of mental health treatment in comparison to other groups. And so we at NUVIC, I would say even studying social sciences could perhaps close that gap if we have more knowledge on certain things and how to do this. Rod, can you please move on? So one way in which psychology can help you is through our understanding of psychology, we can identify the symptoms. Just because you're having an off day, but through you might have an off day, you might be feeling a bit tired, a bit frustrated, but through psychology, we can understand, okay, it's not just having an off day. Maybe it's a symptom for something. Maybe you can identify, is this temporary, is this long term? So in psychology, there's actually a unit called psychopathology, especially in the A-level unit. And in the applied psychology, we look at different approaches, both depending on the course you choose and which one you are awarded to or able to attend. With the A-level psychology, I would say that with the psychopathology unit, you have understanding on the DSM. So that's a classification of all mental health disorders. And so you can identify, okay, this is just, you know, a major disorder of depression, or is it perhaps going towards something a bit more severe? So we have that understanding of ourselves, and maybe can identify within our family members going on, so on and so forth. So psychology, again, can help us identify certain behaviors so we understand ourselves better. Can I have the next thing, please? Also, psychology, we understand certain treatments that are best. So are we going to go down the biological route, or do you need a combination of behavioral as well as cognitive? And so just finding the best treatment, perhaps once you have been diagnosed, perhaps a mental disorder, or if you feel that you have something going on, finding the right route for you or cause, obviously we've identified the causes, now finding a solution. Psychology is always coming around, we're always asking questions, and we always want to come around full circle. And so through studying psychology, we can identify perhaps you need the biological solution, whether that means tablets or drug therapy, or perhaps like cognitive behavioral therapy that gives you mechanisms that can help you break down, perhaps moving forward, what to do. And last but not least, research. Sorry, just go back.
Sorry,
No problem.
Where you go?
Just finishing off here, with research, there's an extensive amount that's been out there and is consistently going on. Social sciences, without the research being done, we wouldn't know half the things we do. And as teachers, we are constantly asking questions. And as students, we encourage you to ask questions too. So through psychology, we have to learn the research process as well. And so perhaps we can facilitate, encourage you guys one day to carry out research, so we know perhaps, God forbid, another pandemic, perhaps you have more understanding on how to deal with yourself mentally. Perhaps you need to go for walks, but why are you going on walks? Because being around people can be a bit frustrating, or the reverse, maybe being around people to feel more included. So I hope through this masterclass, you've got just a snapshot of why psychology is important just in your everyday life, in terms of just building you as a person, or perhaps a further understanding around family members, loved ones, and even strangers. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Lots and lots of information for you to take in there. We've got a few little questions here that I'm just going to throw out to you. Just talking about the teachers, a little bit of background on the teachers that are going to be delivering, about your personal experiences. Simon, your role? So you're on mute, Simon.
Sorry, Rod, I missed that. Could you repeat the question?
Yeah, it's just there's just some questions about from students here about who's going to teach me if I come to Newvic. Who are we as teachers? Who are we?
Who are we as teachers? Well, I suppose we have a kind of social science department, and the social scientists are specialists in different areas. So we've got some social science teachers who are more specialists in the sociological side. We've got some teachers who are more specialists in the psychology side, and we've got some teachers like Roxanne, who just delivered the masterclass, who are more expert in the applied psychology side. But of course, there's a kind of crossover between departments as well. So a lot of the things that have been taught in social sciences are also mirrored in the health and social care area of the college too. But in answer to who you'll be taught by, well, a very diverse team is the answer. Diverse in terms of background, diverse in terms of age, diverse in terms of experience, and diverse as well in terms of which universities that they've been to. A lot of the colleagues in my department have been to universities in London, whereas of course historically, as you can tell from my accent, I was educated at a university in the north of England, so and come from that area. So there's a real diversity of experience, I suppose. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. Rahima, what about your team?
Again, I agree with Simon as well. Our team's incredibly diverse. We've got a lot of teachers who have got very different specialisms, and I think that's what gives you such a well-rounded education here. One of my subject knowledges is nutrition, and that's what I teach my second years. Whereas Victoria, she was a pharmacist, so she's got a lot of science and chemistry knowledge, basically. Eric teaches psychological perspectives and sociological perspectives, and that's what he studied when he was at uni. Edet teaches a unit which is all about research, which will really, really provide you with such an important basis for when you go into university, because a lot of these courses that you will study at university, you'll have to do a lot of research into dissertations, literature reviews, whether it's A-levels, whether it's health and social care, whichever course you go into, especially psychology, sociology, and even nursing and midwifery. So that provides you with an incredible basis of knowledge. Our students usually come back and tell us how important it was to learn that at college, because it's really, really provided them with a good foundation. Tanya as well, Tanya's here, so she can tell you all about herself. Tanya and I were actually students at UVic. So we were students at UVic, and then we went off to university, and we've kind of come back to teach you all now. So yeah, hope that answers your question.
Tanya, are you there?
Yeah, so with me, I teach level 2 and level 3. So one of the units I teach is to do with equality and diversity. So we just look at the way people tend to get discriminated when they access the health and social care services. And I also teach, one of the units I teach is different services in health and social care, in the health and social care sectors. So with that, you get to learn about the primary sectors, you learn about the secondary care sectors, and you learn about different types of professionals, as well as multi-agency and multidisciplinary partnership working.
Okay, brilliant, thank you. Just got another question here. Was some students have put through things about further academic support. So if they're really struggling, you know, with their study load and they need that extra bit of support, what does that look like at UVic, Simon?
Well, I suppose that the first port of call would be the teachers, and the teachers are very, very supportive. So if students are struggling with concepts, modules, they go to their teachers first, and they'll find their teachers very, very supportive. Beyond that, we have an inclusive learning department who would also assist us too, and in some cases, classroom support as well. So so that's what the support mechanisms are. If a student was struggling with their studies, sometimes students are struggling with their studies because they think it's more an academic issue, but sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's more a personal issue, and sometimes students have got a welfare need that's affecting the academic, and we're very, very strong on this. And sometimes it's the teacher will help the student to access the welfare support they need, because sometimes that's what the issue is. It might present as an academic issue, but it's actually something else. And of course, when we were last Ofsteded, they considered us you know, exceptional for safeguarding and gave us an outstanding.
Thanks, Simon. And I suppose one thing I can throw in there as well, obviously for support, is my role at the college, which is learning resources and e-learning manager. So the building that you can see in the screen behind me is our learning resource centre. It's 3 stories high. It has all the technology that you could possibly imagine. You've got access to computers in there. You've got access to laptops. You can hook up all your Wi-Fi devices. Anything that you bring to the college, you can connect. All sorts of different learning spaces as well, spaces for students who want to study by themselves, who want to study in complete silence. We've got a super silent area. So if you're one of those people that likes to keep to yourself, we've got a space for you as well. But we've also got lots of group spaces. So you can pick and choose pretty much how you organise your time, the spaces that you use. And also there's a great crew of staff there as well, which are really will be a great help to you too if you come to UVic in the next academic year. Okay, any final comments from anyone? No? Oh, everyone's quiet? Okay. Thank you very much for all of your topics today and for the information that you've brought to the presentation. I hope everybody out there has found that really, really useful. Don't forget that you can find these presentations on the website next week. They'll all be available to you, as will all of the other presentations as well. From today. So please come back and have a look at them. Applications are now open, so you can apply at nuvic.ac.uk/apply. And if you're looking for a presentation, if you're not really sure on how to do that, there is one specifically around how to make your application today. So you might want to watch that one as well. Or if you've just got another question that you want to ask, you can pop that one out on advice@nuvic.ac.uk, and someone will come back to you with the information that you need. So I hope you found today's session useful and has given you a real flavour about the different pathways that are available with the different subject combinations and new qualifications like T-levels that are coming online. And we look forward to welcoming you at NUVIC very, very soon. So from me, it's goodbye, and thank you very much for attending, and take care of yourselves and stay safe. Thank you very much. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.